Good evening, everyone. This is a call to order for the special meeting of the Bridgeport Board of Education. Today is Thursday, June 15, 2023, and we're a little behind. We're 9 minutes behind, but our meeting was scheduled to start at 6, and we are at the Bridgeport Regional Agricultural Technology Education Center where we're having our meeting. Our first item on the agenda is public comment. There isn't anyone here for public comment or any items that have been submitted for that. So we'll move right on to discussion and possible approval of contract and negotiations for a superintendent candidate. This qualifies for executive session.
Excuse me, Bobby.
Yes.
It's Arlene. I just want to let you know no one signed up for public comment online as well.
Thank you, Miss Arlene.
You're welcome.
All right, so I'll mention again, discussion and possible approval of contract negotiations for superintendent candidate. This qualifies for executive session. Would someone like to make the motion?
Motion for executive session.
Second.
Moved by Ms.
Second,
Moved by Ms. Baptiste Perez, second by Mr. Sokolovic. All members that are, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none. All members currently present in our legal representation will go into executive session. What I'm going to ask is that because there's a large majority of board members that are not here and present, Mr. Traber and I will try to phone call each of you to get you guys all on the line. So we just ask board members to mute or exit out the current meeting and then return back.
Madam Chair, is it possible to start a new Teams meeting? With just the board members? Does anybody know how to start up a new one?
I do have IT here. I can to start a new Teams meeting that isn't going to be streamed. That since majority of our board members are online, we could just. Okay, so I would need to do that. So no, this one can stay paused, but then we would have to start another one. So I guess I can start it since I have my iPad. Yes, we'll work on it. All right, so board members, just give me a second and me and Ms. Perrin will do that.
So, Madam Chair, we can add in this one right now, right?
Don't exit yet until I've at least created the meeting, and then I know that everyone is.
Okay, thank you.
Wait, say that again?
He's going to send it, Jeff, so I'm going to send it to executive session. So what that means is,
Yes. Yes. Yeah, so he's just going to pause this meeting.
Okay, Jeff, it looks like we've got it. Just do it. Oh, Jeff, I'm going to put you on speaker.
David hasn't responded. He's working.
Okay, the meeting has exited executive session and is now going to be live.
Okay. So, we are waiting for a quorum amongst board members. Board members that have returned are Mr. Traber, Ms. Brown, Ms. Casimir, Mr. Sokolovic, and we're waiting to see if another board member will join on. I see. Yeah, so we're just waiting for that.
I just texted them, so hopefully they'll be joining soon.
Okay, I sent the text messages as well. Okay, so we have a quorum now.
Robert's back.
Yeah. All right, let the record reflect all members that were in the executive session are now back and present. Mr. Traber, Mr. Benningham, Mr. Sokolovic, Ms. Casimir, are all present. And except Ms. Baptiste Perez and Mr. Gellin. Mr. Macaron and Ms. Allen did not attend. So we'll move back. We'll go back to our agenda items. Our next one is discussion and possible approval of the CSDE Child Nutrition Program form, which is ED-099999 authorization signature change form. And I believe this is Mr. Steele.
Yep. Good evening. We're just seeking approval of this ED-099 form. It is the form that we need to submit the claims, monthly claims for reimbursements every month. Once the superintendent and the CFO sign, we just need the signature of the secretary of the board once approved.
All right, I will open, this also information is in your packets as well, so I will open up the floor for any comments or concerns for this. I'll start with Mr. Traber.
I will pass for now.
Okay. Mr. Sokolovic. He's also driving.
No comments or concerns.
All right, Ms. Casimir,
No comments, no concerns. Thank you.
Mr. Benningham,
No comment, no concern, Madam Chair. Thank you.
back to Mr. Traber. All right, at this moment, will someone like to make a motion? Go ahead, Mr. Traber. Use your mic for the record.
I'm sorry, I don't have the agenda in front of me, so I'm willing to move it. I move for the approval of this Connecticut State Department of Education Child Nutrition Programs Form ED-099, authorized signatures change
Is there a second?
form.
I'll
Second,
second that.
Sokolovic.
Okay, I think that was Mr. Sokolovic. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hey,
Okay, I think that was ayes up there. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, motion carries. Mr. Still, just make sure that this form is provided to Mr. Secretary once all the signatures have been provided by the leadership that's on here.
Okay, yes, I'll send that out.
All right, the next item is discussion, reading, and vote for the 2023-2024 Healthy Food Certification. This is also Mr. Still.
That was actually an error. We already discussed that in the previous meeting.
Okay, all right, so we'll move from that item to the next one, which is discussion and possible approval on Hill for literacy consultation services, which is 1.7 million for 3 years. Okay, all right. So we'll pause on that one to give Dr. Jenkins an opportunity to come back and speak on that item, and we'll move to the last one, which is discussing and possible approval of the revised 2023-2024 school year calendar. This is Ms. Perrin.
Good evening. I asked that this item be brought forth for two changes to the existing approved calendar for school year 23-24. One being the addition of a one-session day in June, specifically Wednesday, June 5th. In previous years, there has been a one-session day that was allocated for teachers to complete end-of-the-year responsibilities, and that was not on this year's calendar or last year's calendar. It did not become a major issue last year because of due to the heat, there were one session days and teachers were able to have time to be able to do those responsibilities, but it was not there and it's not there again for next year. So looking at changing June 5th to a possible one session day, so teachers will have that opportunity to work on end of the year grades and responsibilities. So that was one. And then an additional change would be able to switch out October 11th, which is scheduled for a one session day, and make that a full session day and change the one session day to October 18th. The ask for that is in regards to the PSAT testing. So our PSAT testing window opens on October the 11th and must be completed by October 25th. If we do not have a full session day on October 11th, it gets pushed back. Therefore, it allows less time for makeups, and then our participation rate is lower. So we're looking to be able to have as much participation as possible.
Are there any questions, comments on this item? I'll start with Mr. Traber. Are you good? Or okay, I'll come back to Mr. Traber. Okay, Ms. Casimir, any questions or comments on this item?
Not at all. It makes plenty of sense what she's saying. I agree with it.
Okay, Mr. Benahan?
No question, no comment. I agree with Ms. Perry. Thank you.
Mr. Sokolovic?
No questions, no comments.
All right, and back at you, Mr. Traber. Any questions or comments?
Change.
Use your mic.
October 11th is being changed from a half day to a full day, and October 15th would be the new half day.
October 18th.
October 18th, sorry. Wrote that wrong. Okay.
And then the June 5th.
So what we have here is the current calendar.
Well, I have, if you want to look at.
No,
Next.
I can just imagine it. I was checking. No, I don't have any problem with it.
All right, so if there are no other comments, it was someone like to make the motion.
I move that the calendar be changed as described.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms.
Akeisha,
Casimir.
second.
Okay, second by Ms. Casimir. Any further comments or thoughts? All right, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Mr. Sokolovic, Mr. Benahan?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, any opposed, any abstentions? Hearing none, motion carries. Now we're gonna move back up to the agenda now that Miss, Lord Jesus. Ms. Jenkins is, Ms. Jenkins is back. We'll go back to her item. Her item is discussion and possible approval on Hill for literacy consultation for 1.7 million for 3 years. Yep, you can come right to the mic.
Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to share the contract for the Hill for Literacy. We have been in partnership with the Hill for Literacy for the last 2 years to support professional development for teachers in grades K through 6, as well as the administrative staff. Under this partnership, teachers receive on-site coaching. They receive professional development on understanding how to interpret reading data and how to use that data to inform instruction. We've seen gains within the last 2 years with our students' reading learning as a result of the partnership. It supports professional development a great deal because we currently do not have in-house literacy coaches to support the staff. So the partnership has provided that support in the absence of having an internal structure for literacy coaching. The Hill for Literacy has been working with schools and school districts across the state for over a decade. Their work was originally funded by the Black and Hispanic Caucus in the Connecticut legislature in an effort to support children underachieving with literacy to demonstrate success. They've had proven success in other districts with similar demographics. It is my hope as we continue the partnership to not only improve the students' literacy, learning, and performance, but to hopefully build infrastructure and organizational capacity to continue to support student learning beyond the partnership. The proposal or presentation of the proposal for 1.7 would cover next year, school year 22, school years 23-24, school years 24-25, and school years 25-26. This year's payment would be covered by the last year of ESSER funding. We currently have received a grant from the state of Connecticut designated for the Connecticut Right to Read legislation, and that grant would cover years 2 and 3. So I'm presenting a 3-year proposal, and it would extend the partnership into 5 years.
I'll open up the floor for comments or concerns. I will save Mr. Traber for last. Mr. Sokolovic, any comments concerning this presentation?
No comments, no questions, no concerns.
Mr. Benahan?
No comment or question, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Ms. Casimir?
I just have one question.
Go ahead.
Look at the budget. The line that says expertise early adopter discount.
Yes.
Is that a discount that the company is giving us every year?
Yes, that is a discount that the company has provided as a result of requesting a 3-year, proposal. So that is a discount. Expertise is an online database that would allow teachers to learn asynchronously. So previous 2 years, the teachers have had professional development with a live person that has taken, a great deal of time. So we would be moving to an online training version to create space and time for professional development in science and mathematics as well. So it's an alternative way, and they would be giving us a discount as a result.
Yeah, because I noticed a discount the first year is significantly higher than year 2, and then year 3 is just $30,000. But you just explained it okay, so I understand. Okay, that's it. That's all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Traber? All right, at this moment, I will open up the floor. Would someone like to make a motion?
I move for the approval of the Hill for Literacy.
Use your mic.
I move for approval of the Hill for Literacy consultation services grades K to 6 for $1.7 million for the next 3 years.
Is there a second?
So move, Mr. Benahan.
Moved by Mr. Benahan. Are there any further comments, questions, or concerns? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye.
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 Good. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, motion carries. Thank you for that item. And then our last item is discussion possible approval on College Board PSAT and SAT for $66,305. I'm gonna butcher this for 1 year. You can go ahead, Ms. I'm gonna butcher it back.
We are presenting the College Board proposal to administer the PSAT in grades 9 and 10, and whoops, am I still on?
No, you're good, you're good.
To administer the PSAT in grades 9 and 10 and the SAT in grade 12. We would be discontinuing the PSAT in grade 8 to the fact, one, it's currently not linked to Khan Academy. That was one of the reasons we purchased in 8th grade to support students' math achievement across time with PSAT data feeding into Khan Academy. That has been discontinued. The second reason we would be discontinuing the administration of PSAT in grade 8 is that we've done some research. About 50% of our students in grade 8 may not necessarily transition into our high schools. So the high school principals would only have data for about half the population in 9th grade. Administering in 9th grade in the fall would give them data, especially now that the 9th grade PSAT will be digital. So they're going to get feedback on the current performance of students and be able to use that data to inform instruction during the year. The state of Connecticut currently pays for grade 11 PSAT and grade 11 SAT, which is in the spring. Grade 11 PSAT in the fall. So this year in the fall, we hope to administer PSAT 9, 10, and 11 and SAT 12. It will give us data across time to look at the power of our instruction and giving students multiple opportunities to be prepared for the assessment if they're using it for college entry. And it gives us data to know how prepared our students are with college and career readiness skills.
Thank you. I will open up the floor for any comments. Mr. Traver?
No.
Mr. Sokolovic?
No questions.
Mr. Benahan?
No comment.
Ms. Casimir?
Yeah, just a comment. I just want to make sure that the identifying information of the student. Sorry.
Say that again?
I just wanted to make sure that the identifying information about the students are secure. So they have a lot of identifying information. You know, I know that they need this identifying information, but just with, you know, hackers getting better and better these days, I just hope that, you know, just the identifying information of the students is kept real tight and confidential so that nobody can kind of, you know, steal it.
Currently with the College Board, in my own experience, they have a pretty tight security procedure. So as example, if I sign into College Board to look at the PSA and I want to switch to AP data, the College Board requires me to enter my ID again. So within their platform, you aren't able to move from one data set to another without presenting your credentials again. When we partner with College Board, our IT director, Jeff Pastolowski, is pretty stringent in making sure every vendor that we partner with meets the state of Connecticut privacy agreements for data sharing, which I think are some of the most stringent in the country. And so at this current time, we have not had a data breach. I'm not saying that that's not impossible, but letting you know that there are multiple safety checkpoints within the College Board site, as well as in our partnership. There are agreements that they've agreed to meet, not just with Bridgeport Public Schools, but with the state of Connecticut as a whole, because every district in the state of Connecticut uses College Board for the grade 11 PSAT and grade 11 SAT. So it would be a pretty serious matter if College Board did not maintain that level of security for student data. But not saying it could never happen. I would never say never.
All right, perfect answer. Thank you very much.
All right. At this moment, would someone like to make the motion?
I move for approval on the College Board PSAT and SAT grades 9 through 12 for $66,359.25 for 1 year.
Is there
I
a second?
second, Mr. Benhan.
Second by Mr. Benahan. Any further comments or questions? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, motion carries. Thank you, Dr. Jenkins. Is there a motion to adjourn? Moved by
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
Okay. Moved by Mr. Traver, second by Mr. Benahan. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none. Everyone have a good summer, and we'll see everyone soon. Thank you.
Take
Have a
care,
great
everyone.
summer,
God bless you
everybody.
all.
Bye.
Have a happy summer.